You don't need to learn how to communicate with the universe because your body already does it for you. Every second of every day, without pause, without effort, without you even noticing. While you chase techniques, rituals, and methods to manifest your desires, the most sophisticated transmitter ever designed sits quietly inside you, speaking a language older than words. Your DNA is not just a biological blueprint locked inside your cells. It is a living antenna, a bridge of light, constantly exchanging information with the invisible field that shapes reality. The body has been listening long before the mind learned to speak. And within that silence lies a truth most people never notice. Every emotion you feel, every thought that crosses your mind, every quiet whisper of belief you carry is not confined inside you. It travels through you as vibration, as frequency, as invisible sound that your DNA hears and translates into the language of creation. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so YouTube keeps delivering content like this. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Most people move through life believing they are separate from the world around them. They see the body as a container. It is an instrument of perception, a field of light that constantly receives and transmits information between you and everything that exists. When you feel joy, the molecules in your body expand into coherence. When you feel fear, they contract into survival mode. Each emotion becomes a code that instructs the body on how to shape reality. The universe does not respond to your words. It responds to the energetic tone your DNA translates into the quantum field. Scientists once thought DNA was fixed, a frozen script written by ancestry and locked in place at birth. But modern quantum biology has begun to show that this code is fluid, intelligent, and responsive to consciousness. The Russian biophysicist Fritz Albert Popp discovered that DNA acts as a light transmitter. He found that strands of DNA emit faint pulses known as biophotons, rhythmic flashes of light that mirror emotional states. When a person is calm, the light flows in smooth patterns. When anxious, it flickers chaotically, as if the inner music has lost its tempo. You are not just surrounded by light, you are built from it, and your DNA sings this light into form every second. Think about that for a moment. The very structure that holds your genetic information is also a source of light. Not metaphorical light, but actual photons that can be measured and observed under laboratory conditions. These biophotons are not random emissions. They carry information. They communicate between cells, maintaining coherence throughout your entire system. When your cells are healthy, they emit steady, harmonious light. When they are stressed or diseased, the light becomes irregular, scattered, broken. This is not just biology. This is vibration made visible. Your DNA is the listener. It records every vibration you emit. It adjusts the geometry of its spiral according to what you repeatedly feel. In moments of peace, the spiral loosens, the code breathes. In moments of fear, it constricts, protecting, but also limiting you. What you call emotion is not only a psychological reaction, it is a field instruction. Every time you fall into despair, your DNA receives that pattern and begins to broadcast it outward, creating experiences that echo that same frequency. The field does not punish, it mirrors. The reflection may come as people, events, or coincidences, but all of them are translations of the information your body has been sending. Imagine standing in front of a mirror made of energy and realizing that your every heartbeat shapes what the mirror shows. This is how reality functions at the quantum level. The signal of your DNA interacts with the larger quantum field, and the field organizes matter according to resonance. Two frequencies that match will always find each other because coherence is the law of the universe. So when you maintain the vibration of gratitude, opportunities aligned with gratitude appear. When you hold fear, circumstances that validate fear emerge. The bridge between the invisible and the visible is not luck or destiny. It is biology communicating with consciousness. There is an intelligence inside you older than thought, one that listens without judgment. It listens to the music of your cells, to the rhythm of your breathing, to the spaces between your words. That listener is your DNA, and it never sleeps. It constantly measures the frequency of your state and tunes your physical reality accordingly. You can see why meditation, silence, and emotional awareness have power. They are not spiritual metaphors. They are tools to stabilize the signal you send. When the mind becomes still, when the heart expands, the noise disappears, and the original frequency of your being emerges. The ancient mystics called it light. Modern physicists call it coherence. But both are describing the same event, a human returning to alignment with the quantum field. In that state, DNA begins to vibrate as it did in its purest form. The photons around it pulse rhythmically. The electromagnetic field of the heart synchronizes with the brain, and a communication line opens between you and the field of creation itself. This is not mysticism. It is structure. Everything that exists vibrates. Every vibration carries information. DNA is the translator between those two worlds. When you speak harshly to yourself, your DNA records the command as distortion. When you speak with love, it records clarity. You are writing genetic music with every emotion. Over time, these emotional patterns create the lens through which you see life. People think awakening is about learning something new, but often it is about remembering how to feel again. When you allow yourself to feel fully without resistance, you send a pure signal. The field can then respond without interference. Every cell in your body begins to recalibrate because the instructions it receives are coherent. The spiral of life, the sacred geometry of DNA, turns in rhythm with the greater cosmos. You are no longer a fragment trying to survive. You are part of the conversation of the universe. The listener within you and the field around you are one and the same. The more you trust this communication, the more effortless manifestation becomes, because it is no longer a technique. It is biology fulfilling its design. Look at your life now and notice the echoes of your past frequencies. Every relationship, every opportunity, every challenge carries the imprint. Your DNA is the antenna, the bridge, the silent witness of every frequency you become. And the more consciously you live, the clearer its song becomes, until one day you realize that the music you were trying to hear has always been the sound of your own light. If you're still watching, drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever felt a shift in your body when you changed your thoughts or emotions? I want to hear your experiences. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video where we go even deeper. Light is not just what you see, it is what you are made of. Every cell in your body holds a memory of light. And deep inside each cell, your DNA pulses with that same silent rhythm that governs galaxies. Scientists once thought biophotons were a myth, faint traces of random light flickering from living tissue. But the truth is more mysterious. Those flashes are messages. They are the way your cells communicate, how the body maintains coherence, how consciousness whispers into matter. When Fritz Albert Popp first detected this subtle radiation. He called it the language of light. He discovered that healthy cells emitted steady, harmonious light, while stressed or diseased cells flickered irregularly, as if their inner rhythm had been broken. That difference was not just biology, it was vibration. You are a symphony of light signals constantly interacting with the world around you. And your DNA is the conductor of that invisible orchestra. Every thought sends a vibration that shifts the tone of this light. Gratitude smooths the frequencies, creating waves that synchronize the entire system. Fear disrupts them, scattering photons in confusion. Love aligns. Anger fragments. It's as if emotion itself paints the internal cosmos in patterns of illumination and shadow. The quality of that light defines the clarity of your connection to the quantum field. When your internal light is scattered, the signal you transmit to the field becomes noisy. When it is coherent, reality mirrors you instantly because the field always follows order. The universe seeks resonance, not chaos. That is why people who live in deep coherence seem to draw synchronicities effortlessly. Their internal light is aligned with the cosmic current, and so events flow toward them in perfect timing. You may have felt moments like that, when everything moves with you instead of against you, when thoughts manifest in seconds, when you sense that life is listening. In those moments, the light within you is communicating clearly. You have become a transmitter in harmony with creation. The secret is that this is not rare. It is natural. You are meant to live that way. Your DNA was designed to interact with the quantum field as effortlessly as breathing. But generations of stress, fear, and conditioning have clouded the signal. The body forgot the rhythm of light and began to operate in survival mode, reacting instead of creating. That forgetting did not erase your potential. It only dimmed it. The language of light still exists inside you, waiting for you to remember how to speak it again. To speak it, you must feel, not think. Thoughts belong to the realm of logic, but light responds to frequency, and frequency is created by emotion. When you truly feel gratitude, every photon inside you aligns to that vibration. It is measurable, tangible, and profoundly biological. Your electromagnetic field expands. The brain and heart synchronize. The DNA helix literally changes its tension. The pattern of emitted light becomes smooth and radiant. This is what mystics called aura, what scientists call biofield, what the universe calls coherence. It is not imagination, it is resonance. The more often you reach that state, the more your DNA learns the new rhythm. Eventually, it stays there. Even when life feels uncertain, you become a stable signal in a shifting world, and stability is magnetic. The field around you begins to organize itself according to your tone. Circumstances rearrange, people show up, timing aligns, because the outer world cannot resist coherent energy. Everything in existence seeks order, and when you become order, you become the point around which reality organizes. That is the essence of creation. It is all one continuum of light, remembering itself through you. Think of every photon inside you as a note in an infinite melody. The universe plays through you, and you can either let the music flow or distort it with resistance. Resistance happens when emotion is suppressed, when light is held back. When you pretend to be calm while your inner current trembles, the light does not lie. It vibrates exactly as you feel. That is why authenticity is power in the quantum field. Pretending creates interference. Honesty restores coherence. The moment you admit your fear, but breathe through it with awareness, your light stabilizes. You have converted chaos into order simply by facing yourself. That is how evolution happens inside the body. DNA is not waiting for the next generation to mutate. It is responding now, adapting to the consciousness you embody. The more light you allow through emotion, the faster that evolution occurs. Each coherent feeling rewrites a portion of your genetic music, unlocking codes of intuition, resilience, and sensitivity once thought to belong only to saints or geniuses. They are not gifts. They are frequencies your DNA understands. You are the one who decides how loudly they sing. In the stillness of meditation, the biophotons within you become more organized. The frequency of your heart synchronizes with the brain, forming what scientists call heart-brain coherence. In that moment, the body becomes a single instrument, not a collection of separate parts. The energy field expands meters beyond the skin, connecting directly with the quantum fabric that holds reality together. Every intention released from that state carries power because it rides on the current of ordered light. This is why ancient practices focused on breath and awareness. They were methods to restore the purity of your internal light, so that creation could flow through without distortion. The more you practice coherence, the more natural it feels, until one day you realize that peace is not the result of control, but of resonance. Your DNA, your thoughts, your emotions, and the light of the cosmos are playing the same note. In that harmony, fear loses meaning. It cannot exist where light is synchronized. You begin to sense that the language of light never stops speaking. It speaks through the warmth in your chest when you forgive, through the tingling in your skin when you align with truth, through the tears that appear without sadness when you touch something real. Those are the signals of DNA decoding energy into awareness. The body is translating light into feeling and consciousness into form. To live this way is not to escape humanity, but to fulfill it. Every pulse of light from your cells is part of the same song sung by stars. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a continuation of its frequency. When you walk under the night sky, remember that the light above you is the same light inside you, folded into a spiral, listening, translating, responding. The more aware you become of that dialogue, the more luminous your life becomes. Coherence is not something to achieve. It is what happens when you stop interfering with your natural light. You do not need to chase awakening. You only need to stop scattering your photons in 1,000 directions of fear and doubt. Gather them through breath, through stillness, through presence, and let them move as one stream of awareness. Your DNA will hear it immediately. It will shift its rhythm, open its structure, and the light within you will flow freely again. That is the moment when biology turns into luminosity, when science meets spirit, when you remember that the true language of life is light, and you were born fluent in it. But here's something most people don't realize. The same light that creates coherence can also reveal what's hidden. There's a dimension of awareness that opens when your internal frequency reaches a certain threshold, and what you discover there changes everything you thought you knew about reality. That's exactly what we're exploring in the next video appearing on your screen right now. Don't miss it, because once you see what's possible, there's no going back to the old way of living. If you made it this far, comment below with the word light so I know you're ready for the next level. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now so you don't miss a single video. We're just getting started.